Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On tonight's convo, we got a few stories we want to share with you that we did not have a chance to discuss it on the last go round. So mentioned reality star Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt is actually doing quite decent in the Los Angeles mayoral race. I think the big push for him is the fact that folks are tired of the same old, I would say, same party leadership, right? Same established elected officials who have long standing careers in California politics. They're like, look, we need some fresh new voices, fresh faces, somebody that is an outsider, kind of, to explain it better. Because California's going through a lot, right? Just overall, California's going through a lot. And but in Los Angeles could be seeing possibly a new mayor. It's currently held by the position is currently held by Karen Bass, who's a former congresswoman who served representing the state of California. But Spencer Pratt, reality star, who was known as like one of the reality TV villains, is now a politician that's, well, not when you say he's not a politician, but he's someone that's looked at as a community activist of some sort. So we're going to talk a little more about that. Also, I ask you the question, should parents be punished for their teenage kids? Should they be punished for the crimes? There we go. I written that question out kind of weird. Should parents be punished for the crimes that their teenage kid commits? The reason why I bring this up is because there is it's been brought up slightly for issues in regards to the snatch and grabs. I know here in my hometown there were some kids doing like reckless driving in parking lots and donuts and causing all this other ruckus. And look, we've seen kids do some just outlandish stuff, right? For no reason. But due to that being a crime, they're saying, should the parents be criticized or be punished or be held liable for their child's wrongdoing? Now, I remember an old case where it was a school shooting where parents were held accountable. Even here in the Hampton Roads area, I know you've heard of the story where a 6-year-old brought a gun to school, shot his teacher. Glad, the wonderful thing is the teacher did survive. And but the sad thing is, a 6-year-old brought a gun, knew how to handle a gun, and the parent and the mother is serving due to that. So we got a lot to discuss. Also, I thought this was interesting. Podcaster Brianna Joy Gray, somebody that I tune into from time to time, had said that she knows that many liberals would vote for Tucker Carlson before they vote for AOC. I'm like, huh? Now, look, I got liberal views. I don't consider myself a liberal, but I got liberal views. And to my friends that are liberals, they don't even want to speak the name Tucker Carlson. No one on the liberal end is saying Tucker Carlson is the person that they will vote for president over AOC. I'm like, I don't know where she's getting this at, but we're going to talk about it more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, fam, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule and for tuning in to yet another great convo here on the show. This is episode 591. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. You can also listen to us on the radio airways. Shout out to our friends in New Orleans, WBOK, 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK, 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about. Then we're going to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to the Arrington Gavin Show. And then lastly, we're going to head over to Las Vegas to KSHP Las Vegas. Fridays, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Time. And that's on KSHP 1400 AM or 107.1 FM. We're growing, y'all. What can we say? We are a growing show, and we want to continue to grow and spread good conversation. Not even good. We want to spread great conversation, much needed conversation that you don't get on your regular airwaves or digital space, or even on your TV screens, because we live in a world where folks always want to see so much division. So folks want to see debates back and forth. And I just want to have a conversation. Now, look, do I share my opinion on some stories? Hell yeah. We all have an opinion. And everybody's curious to say, hey, what's your take on this? And I like to share it. But we also provide opportunities for folks to, to just, speak your mind, right? We bring on elected officials, candidates as well, from all sides of the aisle, because we all need to be informed and aware of what's going on in our communities, right? So I'm just here just to keep y'all up to speed on what we got going on. And to go back on that question, there's a story that came out where parents could face jail time if their children violate a curfew. Now, this is in DC. Now, as you know, DC is the nation's capital. All right. And there's been so much different changes happening in that area. So that's what we're going to be speaking on later on in the show. So again, do not go anywhere, because we're going to talk about it and more. Let's see here. Last show, y'all, I had the opportunity. How can I forget? Shout out to Goatverse TV. You can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on the Goatverse TV app. Download the app now on your Google Play Store or your App Store if you happen to be an iPhone user. Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. You can download Goatverse TV. Last show, towards the end, I was I was talking about what I discuss here quite often: term limits, right? Term limits, career politicians, and the fact of the matter is we need term limits. But does term limits mean, is it a code word for age limits? So I had shared with you all, I already posted a post on my social media where a reporter from TMZ has spoken with Maxine Waters, congresswoman out of California. And Maxine Waters is a very popular, figure in the world of politics. She is very popular amongst Democratic voters. She is extremely popular amongst Black Democratic voters. She is the least popular amongst Republicans. All right. Maxine Waters has been serving the 43rd Congressional District out in California since 1991. 1991. She, before she was in that role, she was a member of the California State Assembly, and she started her political career in 76. 1976. She's 87 years old. Not trying to age you, my bad. She's 87 years old. When she was elected, again, I'll remind you all, she was elected in the U.S. House of Representatives from California in 1991. Served in the 29th District, 35th District, and the 43rd District during her career. She's currently still in the 43rd District. They followed her because the guy was like, as a whiny Gen Zer, as like myself, what is it what we really need? Is it the fact that do we care more about the age? Does it matter what the age? What's the X, Y, and Z? And so she claps back basically at Gen Z and millennials, saying politicians are too old to serve. She says no one is too old to serve if they're effective and a fighter. Here's my thing, because I had a comment, and I read it to y'all publicly, and again, and I'll read it for y'all, just to kind of give you that mindset. He said, "Don't fall for lazy attack on age when it's really about dismissing a powerful Black woman. Auntie Maxine has spent decades fighting for communities, and she's still one of the sharpest, toughest voices in Congress. If Democrats win the House, she'd be positioned to lead the Financial Services Committee again, which says a lot about the respect she's earned and the work she's still does." What folks need to realize, when I speak about my frustration on career politicians, or the fact that we have old politicians, it's not always the fact that, okay, some of them might be a little not as sharp as they used to be, because that is a issue, but it's the fact that you can't on one side try to encourage young people to get out there, vote, 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 and then when they look at who's in office, they don't see any relations. They see their grandparents, they see their great grandparents serving office. Okay, they see these old folks, and they're like, "Oh, I ain't paying that. This is boring. I ain't doing this." No. And the thing is, you can't say that there's not young people trying to pursue office, or hope, trying to get put in the work and run. What's the word? Not run, but serve her seat, be her replacement, because the seat that she's in belongs to the people, not her. And again, this is no disrespect to Maxine Waters. Yes, she's very sharp. I get it. There's people that are in their 80s, 90s, hell, even older than that are still very sharp-minded, but that doesn't mean they need to be in that position. Especially if they've served since 1991. Look, U.S. senators, they serve one of their terms are 6 years. Okay, 6 years. You have positions that are either 6 years, 4 years, 2 years in politics, whether that's local, state, federal. You have individuals serving 2-year terms, 6-year terms, 4-year terms. Now, in some positions, those terms are limited. So, like, most of the time, governors might just serve a max of 2 terms, and then they're term limited. Okay. Local races, right? Local positions, you can basically serve as long as you want to. Supreme Court is limitless, right? Congress doesn't have any term limits. President has term limits. It's, to me, unfortunate when I do see folks that are still holding on these positions, because what tells me is that they don't think that the next generation can sustain and can hold ground. We the people have the right to hire who we want to see. It's I'll say like this: when you have primaries, it's promoting yourself. Positions are, yes, there's sometimes a trial and error. If it's their first term, I get it. You might say, well, I'm gonna give them another break. They did have, like, 2 years to do this. It takes a while because you have so many other individuals. But I just think that people cover up the fact that, yeah, Maxine is a powerhouse. She has a powerful voice. She can do that, but not in the position of Congress. She doesn't need to be in Congress. Her, James Clyburn, those are iconic figures to people. They can be a mentor to the next up and coming. Look, folks that I've had on the show, y'all: Elizabeth Dempsey Beggs, Tim Sawinski, Adam Dunnigan, Neela DeFinith. Okay. Who else? Who else have I had on? I mean, I've had on a number of Bernard Taylor. Okay. I've had on a number of young, fired up, intelligent folks with great backgrounds. I had Chesapeake City Councilwoman Amanda Newens. Okay. I've had on a number of young, either candidates or elected officials that have the knowledge, the stamina, the drive to do the job. So to say that young people, basically wait your turn, or y'all keep y'all continue to complain, but I don't see none of y'all running. Well, they are running. You just have the establishment doing all they can to push them to the side, right? So you got them big money donors that will invest in those already in those positions. See, young people, they got they're focused on their mission, their true mission. They can't be bought. A lot of newcomers and a lot of young folks, they can't be bought. You got a lot of those elites, they are. People go into Congress making six figures, not even high six figures. Leave out their millionaires. What's up with that? What's up with that? My question I want to ask you all is, should there be age limits in politics, in Congress and in Senate? Should there be age limits? Should there be term limits? I already know your take on term limits, but really, should there be an age limit? So I'm just saying, if somebody is, because hold on, let me see here. Is the can run for, okay, just want to put this out here. So the age to run for president, you have to be at least 35. 35. That's the age that you need to be to run for president. Now, the interesting thing is, there's people that are younger than that, because here's how the laws and the rules, it's so ass backwards, in my opinion. You have to be at least 35 to run for president, but you can be younger than that to serve in Congress. I've seen people that are 25 years old serve in Congress. I've seen people, again, either younger than that running for office. So the whole age is interesting. I'm looking now, just out of curiosity, who's the oldest. So Chuck Grassley serves in the U.S. Senate. He is turning 92 this year. 92. Oldest member in the U.S. House of Representatives, Eleanor Holmes Norton, is 88 years old, out of D.C. 80. 88 years old. Y'all, I'm sorry, but you have to, out with the old, in with the new. Look, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, I am a fan. All right, you've had a legendary career, a great career, well served. Why is it so hard for you to say, you know what? I've put in the work that I can. I want to be that person to help the next individual. Like seriously, why? That's just an honest question. Why? Why does it matter that you serve on the chair of this committee? Like why? Is it a person? Is it a personal agenda thing now at this point? Like, I mean, it's just I don't I never understand. I never understand it, y'all. That's just me personally. But you know how I feel about term limits. What's your take on them? Again, also, do you think there needs to be an age limit too? So let me digress from this story. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. I have another story that involves an elderly elected official. And this time it's about her insulting a 10-year-old, the old attacking the young for real. I mean, it's intense out here in these streets, y'all. Look, my friends, do not go anywhere. You listen to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing Goatverse TV.
Goatverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Let's get it going with our next story. Imagine seeing someone extremely old, seeing an elderly individual insulting a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, no, I'm not kidding at all. So let me go ahead and bring up this article here. Let me see if I have a soundbite to hold tight as I try to pull that up for you all. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So, Representative Virginia Fox, okay, Congresswoman, Republican out of North Carolina, is under scrutiny recently for insulting a 10-year-old. Okay, 10-year-old. Now, let me go ahead and play the soundbite first. We'll talk about it on the other side.
2038 is only 12 years away, and you and your classmates will be responsible for the debt.
A message from Republican North Carolina Congresswoman Virginia Fox that was sent to 10-year-old Christian Mango. Christian says certain words she said,
I could understand like half of it, not all of it.
His mother, Emily Mango, says the reply from Fox was in regards to an assignment from Christian's teacher at Canterbury School in Greensboro.
Christian and his class, they're in fourth grade, they wrote a persuasive essay of their choosing, and they mailed it off to a representative, a CEO, whoever the decision maker was that could be influential in hearing their persuasive essay points.
Christian says the topic he chose,
we should have a $5,000 tax rebate for electric cars because they're better than normal cars. They're better for the environment. You pay less and there's no gas.
Christian says in April he mailed the essay to Fox in a Canterbury school envelope with fourth grade on the return address. A few weeks later, the school received this letter from Representative Fox via email. While the Congresswoman thanked the 10-year-old for contacting her, she disagreed with his proposal. Fox cited 6 articles from news organizations such as Fox News and Wall Street Journal. But towards the end of her response, she attacked Christian's teacher.
Ask your teacher to explain propaganda to you, but I will never be able to know. My guess is that your teacher will not be able to give you a good educational experience by helping you to be able to think as they are too interested in indoctrinating you. How sad.
After Christian's mother explained to him what Fox's response meant, the 10-year-old says he's upset Fox went after his teacher when Christian was the one who chose the topic of his essay.
I think that was wrong.
Why?
Because the school didn't do anything.
Emily Mango slammed Fox's response on social media and is now demanding an apology.
2038 is only...
Let me tell you something. And once again, this is America. By the way, Fox is 82 years old. Not saying the age means something in this case, but I just wanted to let you know she's 82. Again, Congresswoman. So this is more on the issue, just the branding and the rhetoric that comes from the right, where, okay, yes, the student end up coming out being more mature than an elected official. You see where the disconnect is right now? He said, why is she attacking my teacher? And I'm the one that put out that was just rude and unfair. And 10-year-old is extremely intelligent. I don't know if you notice here, but kids are extremely smart. Very smart individuals here. I mean, how do you respond to this, man? The mom, Emily Mango, said in a now viral social media post that her son wrote persuasive essay on the benefits of electric vehicles tax rebate that was mailed to the congresswoman. So this kid is trying to say, look, this will be beneficial for the community. Maybe we just do a tax rebate. Oh, no. That's not happening. I mean, look, you have, and I'm gonna have a good friend of mine on that can share his take on this. I'll have him on very soon. I'll keep y'all posted with that. So just stay connected, stay tuned with us on social media. Christian is the 10-year-old's name. He said he did not fully understand what you heard in there. He also said it was wrong for Fox to insult his teacher because she chose the topic for his essay. Because he chose the topic for his essay. Well, so now what she's saying is this 10-year-old is not that intelligent to think this. It must have been the adult who's the other adult in the room, the teacher. So she's wrong and teaching you the wrong stuff. I mean, I'm trying to see who hired her, who elected her into office. North Carolina, y'all gotta do better. Cause Virginia Fox, she needs to sit down. Okay, there's gonna be politicians. I'm gonna start saying y'all need to sit down somewhere, and that's it. Literally, what it means when I say that. Go somewhere, sit down, mind your business, play bingo, do a crossword, watch some soap operas, watch Beyond the Gates or something. I mean, it's not an old thing to watch. I mean, Beyond the Gates is a good show. I like to watch it, but enjoy yourself. Don't your quote unquote public service is insulting 10-year-olds now. You insult fourth graders. That's what being an elected official is about nowadays. Whew. Yikes. I know kids get on their nerves sometimes, but I ain't going to insult them like that. I mean, God dang. All right, my friends. I don't know if you heard about this story here. In Kansas, there was a former mayor who was recently detained by ICE. Former Kansas mayor sent to ICE detention as hatred of immigration claims victim close to home. Now, the interesting thing about this story, y'all, is the fact that this mayor, I believe, still is, maybe, I don't know, a strong Trump supporter. And he was in agreement with the policy of immigration. Now, he's a part of it. He's a statistic. Interesting.
This is Joe Ceballos, the former mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, who was taken into custody by immigration authorities, according to the Associated Press.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where they're going to take me, and what I can and can't do inside there.
Ceballos, who's twice elected mayor of Coldwater, was born in Mexico, but is a legal resident in the U.S., according to his attorney. While seeking citizenship last year, Ceballos admitted he had voted in elections despite not being a U.S. citizen. His attorney said Ceballos was not aware that green card holders are not eligible to vote. After resigning over this issue, Ceballos made a deal with the attorney general and pleaded guilty to disorderly election conduct. Now he fears that he'll be deported after being taken into ICE custody over the charges.
I thought our system was smarter and better than this. I thought that there was a degree of humanity and dignity included in the process.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Ceballos' detainment in Wichita was met by protests criticizing ICE. CNN has reached out to the Department of Homeland Security. This is Joe Ceballos, the former.
I tell y'all, I mean, it's it's not right. It's not. But the fact that you voted for these policies, you voted for the guy, like that's what's the comical thing, in my opinion. Let me read you this more in context. So as you heard, Joe Ceballos, former Coldwater mayor, Coldwater, Kansas, has been taken into custody by U.S. Immigration and Customs, ICE for short. He's the green card holder who was charged for voting repeatedly and illegally, although he reached a plea deal on a misdemeanor charges and hoped to remain in the country where he made his home for 50 years. Okay, Ceballos instead was caught up in the mass deportation that has torn apart American communities from coast to coast. He will likely be sent back to Mexico, where he remains a citizen but has no connection. You cannot negotiate with depravity. Ceballos first arrested and charged. The good people of Coldwater could not believe the injustice, and he has a huge support system, by the way, because he's I think a 2-term mayor. They spoke to reporters and talked about their ex-mayor was a model citizen and dependable resident. Supporters turned out for a December hearing, standing squarely behind a man who was just as American as I am, in the words of one of the residents. Now, Coldwater overwhelmingly voted for both President Trump and Kansas Attorney General Chris Cobalt. Both men have made the persecution of immigration the cornerstone of their political brands. Now, nevertheless, the reliable Republican town kept voting Republican, and a majority chose to embrace rather than resist depravity. So again, you have a former mayor, Republican, who again supported this administration. Like, it's important to do your own research. It's important to read. It's important to read between the lines. That's where it's important. It's important to read between the lines. There we go. Good job, Arrington. That's the one I'm trying to say. Because you have a number of people that have supported this administration and this president, and guess what? It ends up biting them on the ass, and they're like, "Wait, what? Wait, what?" Remember the lady. Remember the lady who was singing the song, "Vote Donald Trump," or "We vote for Trump," something like that, like a mariachi band, and they were in support of a Trump, and then like fast forward, her husband gets deported. Like, what'd you think? You think kissing up to him would help you out? Sometimes it does, but for the most part, it doesn't. I mean, it's like, what else do you want? And now, I mean, could this be a way to really affect? I mean, I guess you have a lot of Trump voters really kind of regretting, which, I mean, he can care less. This is his last term. Okay. He doesn't have any more terms left. I know they're always teasing the notion for him doing a third term. Yeah, I honestly, I don't pay any mind to that. But you have a lot of 2 times Trump supporters, 3 times Trump supporters that are saying, "I apologize. I regret my vote for this person. I am sorry. I really am." And you know what? I'm like this. You live and you learn, right? Now, other folks, for example, like comedian D.L. Hughley, he will never forgive anybody that voted for Trump. I don't think he would forgive somebody that voted for the first time, but voted 3 times. Like, yeah, I already know your intentions. That's not happening. And that's just the way life goes. But yeah, hope, prayerfully this mayor, they find a solution to not deport him to Mexico and be with his family where he's been, and be in the place where he lived in the last 50 years. Okay, 50 years paying taxpayer dollars, being an elected official in a town where he's very well respected. We'll read more onto this, but let me go ahead and digress from this. I want to talk about, y'all, Spencer Pratt. So Spencer Pratt, reality TV star from the hit show The Hills, that was very popular back during my I guess teen, what would I say, high schoolish, period, high school, college kind of period. I really didn't watch the show, I'll be honest, but I knew it was popular. The children of Caitlyn Jenner was stars on those shows, and it grew the career for a lot of individuals. One of those individuals was Spencer Pratt, who at one point was known as like a reality TV villain, but he has since then kind of recovered from his issues and his addiction, and now he's really, really, really pursuing to build back up the community he's called home for a long time, and that's Los Angeles. So Los Angeles has seen a lot. Folks are tired. They want to see some new faces, and looking for new leadership. And well, Spencer Pratt happened to be this guy that has, grown a career politically. He's had viral campaign ads. I remember his first one showed the trailer of where him and his family currently live in, right, on the lot of where his house was burned, because he said, we had these fires done due to bad representation, we did not have the right leaders in place to be aware and to prepare everybody about these fires, right? We didn't have the right infrastructure that could take care and not cause a whole neighborhood to just burn to the ground. People are pissed. People are very upset, right? And so I played you the clip when Spencer Pratt first announced that he was running for office. He's hoping to unseat Karen Bass, who's a former congresswoman out of California. You have a lot of Spencer Pratt, he even out fundraised Karen Bass in one of the quarters, which says a lot, because see, when you raise a lot of money through donors, right, that says a lot of people will trust you and they want to put their faith in and saying we do need some new leadership. Okay. He has a lot of famous friends, wealthy friends. He is a Republican. I think I want to say he's running as a Republican, but he's leaning more towards the independent center right. But he's facing some backlash. He's facing backlash because there is saying that trail that he's always advertised or not advertised, but that he's showcased on his campaign ads is really not his current permanent stay. He's been living at a Bel-Air hotel, a luxurious hotel. Okay. So I'm gonna play you this clip he had speaking with the guys from TMZ. And he was, he was defending, but also kind of skipping around. Like, I thought you said you lived there. I thought you said this and that. And then he started getting all irate. So listen to this and tell me this doesn't sound like a typical politician.
The campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial, but you're at the Hotel Bel-Air. So kind of undo that for us.
No, to be clear, that is where, excuse me, that is where I live. That's where Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, burned down my house. That is where I will live until I have a new house. The Airstream is a temporary facility. A hotel is a temporary facility. Where my kids are in Santa Barbara right now is a temporary housing. This is where I live. This is where they burned my house down. So this semantics or the nuance of this is the consequences of their failed leadership. And again, I don't live at the Hotel Bel-Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. So for these people that want to focus on where I sleep at night, first off, I don't even sleep. I get 4 hours of sleep because I'm fighting these corrupt freaking politicians all day long.
There's something to the point where you say in the ad, this is where I live, while you're standing in front of a trailer. I think the reason that ad was so effective with voters is because you did draw this visual comparison of where the mayor lives, where Nithya Raman lives, and where you live. So you're showing where they live, and then you're saying this is where I live. But for the last month and a half, you've been at the Bel-Air Hotel.
I haven't been at the Bel-Air Hotel for more than 6 days in the last month. This is all public.
Right, but that's where you've been staying. I know you may not have actually been in it.
No, I've been in Santa Barbara, where the LA Times reported where I lived and doxed me. That is where I live, period.
But but are you saying you live in that trailer?
I don't live anywhere is what I'm saying. I don't have a house. They burned it down, Harvey. I don't have a house.
But why not say that? But Spencer, that would be really effective. Why not say that in the ad? I don't have a home.
You texted me today. I have never told anyone I lived in it. And yet in the ad, you say, this is where
I live. This is my house. This is my property. There's nothing there, Harvey. It's dirt lot. I had to have it craned in to the lot. That's what people are. This is psycho. I only got on this live because I love you. But so last time I'm going to talk about this, because the reason I am running is because they burned down 7,000 houses.
The campaign ad.
Now, I will say this, y'all. The passion coming from Spencer, because I'll say this. I don't think that was quote unquote a sign of him. I don't think that was a sign of him getting upset because he got caught, right? I don't think that was like a gotcha moment. I think it was a little bit of everything, right? So yes, if your campaign ad literally says, this is my home now. I've been living here since I lost my home. Okay. People's mind are looking at the visual And then they're putting themselves in your shoes saying, wow, he lives in a trailer now. Him, his wife, his kids, they live in a trailer permanently. That's what they're saying, right? Then he says, I live nowhere. I don't have a home, Harvey. That's what I'm trying to. He's upset, obviously, of the overall circumstances. Like he's saying, this is why I'm running. And look, it doesn't, take away the fact that he's running based on like all these homes are burned down, poor leadership. Now, yes, he got caught because he has been living, not just he's been living in other places, not just the trailer. So I guess to answer the question is what Harvey and the other gentleman was saying was like, okay, so you don't live there. You've rested your head there from time to time, but that's not your permanent home. You live in a luxury hotel. So if you're living in a luxurious hotel, then don't you think it can be miscommunication saying, okay, you're not homeless, you're living large, you still have, solid income, you're doing good, but you got to wait till your house be built. But I think what overall folks got to realize too, he's living in a hotel that is not his home. Okay, that lot where that trailer is on, that's his home. That's his home. That's his property. There is no home. It will take a long time for that house to be built. So he's alternating from a hotel. He has a trailer just so he can say, hey, look, we have this here on this land, but this is my land. This is my trailer. This is me. I think personally, this is something that will not hurt Spencer Pratt's campaign. I think it will make it even more effective because folks are looking at it as saying, why question or take down a guy that already lost a lot, right? Yeah, he can afford to stay at a hotel, but at the end of the day, that hotel is not his home. It's unfortunate because that's probably coming out of his pocket, and he doesn't want to stay in a hotel. He wants to stay at his own home. I think this is a prime example of kind of left-leaning, I'll say left-leaning media being more in favor of left-leaning officials than Spencer Pratt. Because I'm just saying, like, there's already saying like, okay, Spencer Pratt is a MAGA candidate. Look, did he vote for Trump? I'm unaware. If he did, he probably did because, like I said, he supported other Republican elected officials in the past. He's probably still a Republican. He probably did vote for Trump. All I'm saying is, in this case with this Los Angeles mayoral race, he has a lot of supporters. There's a lot of liberal voters that are looking at him saying, I think it's time for a new face, a new sheriff in town. And then that guy is Spencer Pratt. I don't think continuing to make a big deal out of the housing thing will hurt his chances or will really matters. I think overall, when you're running for office, you have to be honest all the way. You have to be honest from the start to the finish. And the fact of the matter is that if he made the assumption saying that this is where his permanent residence is, then folks are assuming that you wake up every morning, you shower at that trailer, that you stay right at that trailer. But the fact that you actually stay at a luxurious hotel, that's what got you in trouble. That's what's getting you in trouble. So then you do have voters that are going to take that to the bank. Those that are on the opposing end saying, hey, look, he got caught up in it. Here's a lie he got caught up in. Do you want that to be your next leader? Somebody that lies? Come on. So, he seemed a bit frustrated, but I think he will still have a strong chance of, raising some big numbers in this mayoral race. Looking at the Emerson, let's see. They've had a couple. I think they've had a recent mayoral debate. So you have Karen Bass, who's the incumbent. You have Councilwoman Nathaya Raman, all right, and then Pratt. So the poll shows, let's see. Oh, he's in second place with 22%. So this is an Emerson College A new poll from Emerson College shows that the reality star came in second place in that debate with 22% support to Bass's 30%, and Rahman drew around 19%. The poll is of 350 voters with a margin of error of 5.2%. Name recognition is always going to help. I'm looking to see. Pratt has drawn extensive media attention since the debate, particularly in the conservative media, but he recently drew a contribution from Ham Saban, who has been a longtime Democratic fundraiser and donor known for his steadfast support of Israel. Saban gave $1,800, and his wife, Cheryl, gave the same amount with contribution dated from in the previous day. Other recent donors, including Justine Bateman, Cameron and Tyler Winklevis, I don't know who they are, Brett Ratner, Lucien Grange, and the CEO of Universal Music Group. So he's like I said, he got some liberal supporters that are looking to say, hey, I think I want to support Spencer Pratt. Look, Spencer Pratt is a light guy by a lot of liberal folks out there in California. So like I said, might be seeing Spencer Pratt, might be calling him mayor pretty soon. Never know. Let's go ahead and take a quick breather here. You listen to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Do not go anywhere.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, college player of the year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolves. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Remember I had told you all about this popular podcaster Brianna Joy Gray. Brianna Joy Gray, who is a registered independent, but she has been seen to lean more left from some sort. She's a former co-host of the Hills web program Rising. She was there from 2022 to 2024. But she has her own podcast now. She has been a part of Intercept, Current Affairs, The Hill, as I mentioned earlier, other political affiliations, Democratic Socialists of America Party, as well as the Green Party. And as I mentioned, she is an independent. She started her political career as a national press secretary for the Bernie Sanders presidential campaign, the 2020 presidential campaign. Now, this is what she had to say on her podcast recently in regards to her opinion on AOC in comparing her to Tucker Carlson.
Too. Yeah, it's crazy. I know many, people on the left who would happily vote for Tucker Carlson before AOC. I'm frustrated by that dynamic because I don't want Tucker Carlson to be president. I also can't see myself damaging my own credibility by telling someone to vote for AOC. Like, these options hurt us all. And I wavered on this for a second because there was part of me was like, well, maybe he's just trying to set up Thomas Massie for an independent run instead of himself. When I was watching the interview he did with Massie in full and the way he really gassed him up, I thought, well, it could be that it's not for himself. He's setting the stage for why there should be a dirty break because he thinks Massie should be the one. Massie's the end, he's potentially at the end of his political career, just depending on whether his APAC challenger is going to be successful, all this stuff. But if it is Tucker, I do think he has said a lot of bad stuff in the past, but just watching how the media has handled his sort of rebirth the last few weeks with the New York Times interview. The way it's clear that they think they can trump him, which is to say, take the approach of presuming that everyone who's listening already agrees that he's a very bad guy. Say guilt by association, you platform Nick Fuentes. They didn't do the harder work of going back and actually excavating his past remarks about Muslims and Islam and, Great Replacement, and really having a finer tooth analysis of why what he has said in the past is bigoted. They won't, and also because it's harder, because Tucker Carlson is nobody's fool. And for a while, he has been smart enough to really use dog whistles where someone like Trump is more explicit. I mean, he's really, his Great Replacement stuff, at least more recently, it might have been less subtle in the past, but it wasn't like white people are better than everybody else. That's not the dialogue. It's more like America has a culture. America has an essence. And if you let too many immigrants in from wherever, they will dilute what we love about where we are. And it is not wrong for me as an American to want to put American culture and values first and to love where I'm from. Now, and you have to be smarter and more analytical.
Okay, so let me end that right there because I'm looking at my time. So I will say this. I have not encountered any liberal whatsoever that says I will choose Tucker Carlson over an AOC. So I don't know where the hell Brianna Joy Gray is getting that from. AOC is a popular figure in Congress, right? She, yes, has progressive views, but she's someone that is a rising star in politics, someone that can actually be more. She's one of the more successful progressives, I would say, in Congress, and that's even if you would consider her a full-on progressive. I'll have to speak with the experts. My good friend Jen Johansson, in regards to would she consider AOC a true progressive? But AOC is a prolific individual. She's somebody that knows messaging because her, Bernie Sanders, the whole press tour that they went on when they toured to strictly red Trump districts and states, selling out arenas. Okay. She has always been that person. She's well liked, okay, overseas. That being said, if she wanted to try and run for president, she would have great relationships with other allies. She's relatable for bringing up the young votership. Okay, now she hasn't quite had a lot of success in regards to passing bills. She has sponsored and co-sponsored a lot of bills, but a small few have been put into law, right? This is something we're gonna have to talk about on the next show, y'all, because I am running low on time here. Time is against me, as it always is. But I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I hope to hear from y'all again, and I hope that y'all continue to tune in weeknights to the Arrington Gavin shows. As always, my friends, stay safe, stay informed, stay aware of what's going on in our country and in our local communities. Until next time, I will talk to y'all soon. Peace and blessing. I am going to leave. Okay, right now. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.